Okay, so it seems we have lost quite a bit of footage on that one. Unfortunately, I'll try and recover some of that, but the video just died on me, so I want to give you guys an idea of like how long this ring is basically take. So we had a ring gap there, just going over on like how we did a check here, where we got the 22 in, it looked like it was straight. However, our rings were not sitting flush, so we had an incorrect reading on that. And when we basically just make that nice and flush, keep it like on the same level, we try with a 22 again, she ain't gonna go in, not at all. So we basically gotta just watch out for that and make sure that we get the correct dimensions. So back to the grinding disc on that. So I was just covering up the section here about how we can take this disc and just slide it right up against the grinding wheel, and then with a light pressure applied we can just move it on forward and the sound's basically gone. So that gives you an idea of like how quickly it takes it down. So if you're really new to this or you want to work down the rings a little bit slower, just basically hold it right up against it, give it a spin, and then she'll be quiet, and then you know you've removed the material. So we're just going to carry on with this here, do a bit of grinding on that side, and then the other side and the other side. It's kind of a shame because we're pretty close to finishing this ring. That's what we want to do. Wipe that debris off with the rag, and let's go and see how she sits on the engine. Okay, right about there, slipping in our ring, the top end, leveling it with the piston. That's about good. Getting our feeler gauge on here with the that was the 22. Just about, yeah, so that's 22 thou there. So that's the dimension you want to see. So flush ring, move that out the way. Yeah, so flush ring, blades inside there. That gives you an idea of like a nice firm placement inside there. So we just got to take down another 5/1000 of an inch and we should be good to go. Again, on this side here, we want to work that down a bit, get her in there. So this whole process has been about 34 minutes. Measure again, and of course this is taking a lot longer because I am demonstrating and showing everyone how it's basically done. I'm sure if you were doing this in the shop by yourself, you probably would get away about 12 minutes on a ring, I reckon. So probably get the whole engine done by the time I got one done. That 22 is happily sitting in there. I'm gonna go up to the 27 now, 13 and the 14 on the blade. So we've got two blades there, and now we're going for the final dimension, sitting around there. And yeah, she needs to go a bit more, so back to the grind wheel. And the grind wheel lost a little bit, we're just going to put that in there, nice firm finger press there, holding her in place, and then rotate it in as we do it. A little bit more on that side actually. Now let's go back to the engine, and we are back this side, dropping her in there, getting our piston in, cylinder number 2, nice and flush. Get our feeler gauge out. This is the 2 we had. Checking on the dimension and making sure nothing's getting stuck and it's getting a proper angle on through there. She moved a little bit there, not going in, so we've got to do a little bit more. A little bit harder doing this not in a workshop, but yeah, so you really want to take your time, right, because you're getting close to that dimension, so you really don't want to overdo it, and you want to get it as best as you can. Luckily it is a surface grind, so you can get pretty good accuracies with it. You just got to make sure that you take your time, keep everything level, nothing really moves around unnecessarily. We don't have any burrs on there, so yeah, I'm pretty good with that. So I just want to see if I can get that focus, and that's a perfect ring gap closure right there. Looks amazing. Perfect. Okay, so back to the engine. Yeah, there we go. Got that in there. Just flush in there. Feeler gauge. And we should have our 20. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice fit. That's 0.27 inches or 27 thou. It's got a nice firm fit, but not so much that it'll force anything in there. So now we know that this can handle the heat that we need to throw at it. So I just want to, for comparison, throw it now with the second ring. So we're going to leave that gap in there, and we're going to move on to the second compression ring. And obviously here now we have a different material. It's a nice dark color, so it's more of a higher carbon metal. And we got that ring pattern there as well. So another reason why, not even in the camera frame. So we got that ring pattern over there, so we have a little edge here. Another reason why we don't want to grind down that side, because if it'll give us like a round edge. I don't want that. So I just want to show you guys like how easily this one basically takes down. So a little bit on that side, a little bit on this side. Right up, blow that off, get nice and clean, go measure on the engine. Okay, so stand corrected. I'm going to take this ring out just for demonstration purposes. And I'm going to leave this here because obviously we've got to measure it, and we can't get it to the correct level if we have piston ring there. Don't get your gloves caught in the ring gaps. There we go. Piston number 2, slide it down to the correct length. And obviously your second compression ring is a lot more stiffer, so it's going to sit a lot harder. And let's measure that gap. Actually, she's not there yet. Let's go back to the grinding disc. Back on this side, gap facing down, that's the top side of the ring. Again, not very high-tech equipment, this, relatively low-tech, but it's all about the precision. So when you're running hot, you know you're not going to be getting your rings seizing up, wrecking your engine. Just that, and we're back to the engine. Okay, getting that back inside there. Hope I didn't overdo it now. Oh yeah, it's got to get the correct height. Looking pretty firm. See what she says. Right there. That's my 27. Right there. So look how long it took us to work down this ring compared to this one. And this is here's the whole reason why I'm making this video, is because with the higher carbon content, your metal does become harder, but it's also more what's the correct? It's not abrasive resistant. It's some technical word. I forgot. It's been 15 years since I've been in university. So yeah, that gives like a nice firm fit there. We're flush. I mean, it can basically hold the feeler gauge in there, so we know we've got a pretty good firm fitting in there. So that's all there's basically to it. So I'm going to put this top ring back in there, and I know that piston 2's ring sets are now done, and I just got to do cylinder 1 still, and then we're pretty much good to run. Yeah, so guys, I'm gonna try and like either merge these two videos together, or kind of like make a part 2, I guess would be easier. To, you know, the thing just cut off halfway. So that gives you an idea of like just the process of grinding down your ring gaps, and obviously checking things. So let's compare this one, just for argument, just for interest sakes, and compare it to the gap of that one. Give it a slight little bit of flush area, and let's zoom in on that and see how that looks. You can just see how similar those ring gaps are. I think this one's a bit higher than the other one actually, so it might be a little optical illusion, but that's pretty much the size of the ring gap. It is a pretty big ring gap, but being an aluminum engine, I don't want to struggle with heat. So RFM recommendations, that's what we're going to run with. We're still going to do the bottom rings in pretty much the same way. However, I don't feel that's worth really. It's not as complex as these ones. It's the same process, just with all the rings. So that basically covers this part. I'm going to end the video up here, and then thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helps. Keep in mind, it's for the community, and if you're building up a really big engine, trying to do some racing things, or just trying to get your car up and running, I hope this helps. Normally this information is hard to come by, but if you do a lot of Googling, you probably will find it. And obviously keep in mind that this is the way I do it over the many years. So it does, people might have different opinions, they might have different methods, and each to their own. I follow these ones because they work for me and my plan build. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.